Well, it's a fantastic day down here at Ocean Melody, and if you'll notice, there are 2 sailbags on the boat now. Our mainsail got ripped on the way back from Dartmouth, and we've been given a couple of other mainsails. One's in the Optimist, and that one's slightly too big, unfortunately, so we might have to have it modified. The sail that's on there was given to us by Mike, who's done a load of sailing with us, and it's off his Beneteau, so it's fractionally too small, but it just means that it doesn't quite reach the top of the mast, doesn't quite reach the end of the boom, so it's like having a tiny bit of a reef in the sail. Now, I did film all of that, putting the sail on and measuring it and putting new sail sliders on, and Melissa had filmed a whole load of footage as well, and Muggins here copied the footage off the SD card onto the external hard drive and then formatted the card without checking it had copied properly, so we've lost all of that footage. It's like a day and a half's worth of, it's like, oh, you idiot. Anyway, these things happen. So the next clip is of me having finished putting the sail sliders on to put the new sail up, and I think the next words that you're going to hear are, well, that's done. That's done. Got new sail sliders now, all the way up. Didn't actually take that long. It was only maybe a couple of minutes, so maybe 20 minutes. So I'm now going to hoist the main, because the wind is almost non-existent at the moment. So, as you can see, we're about a metre short of the top of the mast, and we're about 50 centimetres short of the end of the boom. But that sail's in, I haven't got the battens in, but it's in much, much better condition than the one that I had. So what I've got to do now, close the gate, shorten up the out haul. I can hoist a bit more actually. Yeah, I'm too low down there, so I'm going to fiddle around with that for a bit and see if we can get a better set on it.
Hello everyone, we're off to spend our first night on the boat. Oh, Ollie's first night, he's not slept there yet. It's my turn to mess up. Do you remember a few weeks ago Andy dropped the GoPro in the marina? Well, I've just put petrol in our diesel car and driven it. We were all excited. Well, Jack, Ollie and I were all excited because we were on our way to the boat to meet Andy to spend our first night with Ollie on the boat. Hopefully we'll still do that. So anyway, join us on our walk home. It's a bit windy, yeah, but at least we live somewhere pretty. It's a nice view to walk home. Ollie's chill about the journey. Jack, not so much. So Andy has come to the rescue. We got a little way home and then we sat in the pub and had a coffee.
Melissa and Jack are back with Ollie, and the main from Mike is now on the boom. It's kind of flaked. We've got no lazy jack lines at the minute. Well, we have on one side, but not the other. Lazy jack lines are ropes that go from the boom halfway up the mast, so that when the sail comes down, it kind of sits on the boom properly. But that's, one of them's come down, so I might have to send Jack up the mast in a harness. It's the advantages of having a capable little 11-year-old. The plan is to go for a motor, really. There's no wind, but that's what we want for Ollie's first ever trip out on a boat. So it's all go this morning. This little man here, say hi Ollie,
4 weeks today.
Is 4 weeks old today, and we're going out for Ollie's first ever trip out on a boat. Andy's come to join us, partly because it's our first time going out with the baby, and if Melissa needs to devote her attention to Ollie, then Andy and I can handle the boat, which I just think is sensible.
So we're just getting ready to leave. Ollie is asleep and safely stowed on the shelf in his car seat. Jack's just keeping an eye on him for now. Yep. And then once we get out, then we'll bring him out. And we've got Andrew, who's a star, come to join us for the day. So what Andy and Andrew are going to do is spring off at the back. So there's a line on the aft end. We'll allow the bow to go and then it will move out, because we're obviously in a little-ish of a tight spot. There is probably not going to be any sailing. There's no wind, but it's perfect for Ollie's first trip. Okay, you're clear at the front.
So the gate doesn't close for another hour and a quarter.
No, we've got loads of time.
Pushing us.
It's sailing.
And
Oh, we're not. We're motoring.
went sideways on
But we're out.
straight into that buoy.
Oh my gosh. 1.2 meters. Speed is.
No, depth is 10.3 metres.
Oh, sorry. 10.3 meters. 2. It keeps going up, and speed is 6.
Well, 7 knots through the water, but I don't know what our speed over ground is at the minute.
There's Carnarvon Harbour, which is where HUUUUUUUUGE used to be.
Can you take the helm?
Yep.
Can you see there's a red port marker?
Yeah.
And there's a green marker.
Okay.
You've got to stay basically slap bang between the two.
Is this like HUUUUUUUGE where you're steering the opposite?
No, it's just a steering wheel. Jack's more used to a boat with a tiller, which is a good thing. I think it's a good place to start.
The green marker's all the way in front of us.
So you can come over to that side a little bit.
Life jackets. It's flat calm today and we're in the cockpit. Ollie and Jack, when they go forward, obviously Ollie won't be going forward on his own, will have a life jacket on. If we go in the dinghy, we'll have a life jacket on, and if the weather picks up, we will have a life jacket on.
Let me just show people where we're going.
Yeah.
This is wide angle, so you might not see, but there's a port marker here. So what we're doing is going straight for the break in the land, straight there, turn and go between the land and that port marker, and then up round the corner there's a fantastic anchorage, and this is where I came the other day with the Himiway fat tyre bike. I came over here.
I have a question for people to answer in the comments. I'm after some what's the word, non-chemical sun cream, organic, good for marine life and good for babies, because we're going to need buckets load of the stuff. So if you could recommend some marine safe, kids safe sun cream in the comments, that would be amazing. Thanks.
3.7.
Fine.
3.8.
8 here. So by that hump. Yeah, I'll turn us around.
Yeah.
So we're just anchoring in, what's this place?
5 point Abermenai,
Abermenai.
and we're just trying to get
the right depth.
depth.
Because lots of people come in here with their bilge kills and dry out. Obviously we don't want to do that.
We're on 5.5 metres and we're not far off.
No
We're
tide.
about 3/4 tide, so to low, so 1/4 tide in effect. Got 6 metres here.
Okay.
Take it down steady.
Hey Clive.
And I'll just let the tide take us back.
Okay.
Right, we're anchored. We don't seem to be moving, but we're in a very fast running tide here. So that's quite good. It means that the anchor's holding really nicely. I haven't turned the engine off yet. We'll wait until I'm really happy that the anchor's set. I mean, it's set anyway now, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah.
And it's that 65-pound Mantus
Yeah.
beast. We're anchored in. Just turn the engine off. Okay, here we are.
Well, that was an epic journey.
Yeah, it was 40 minutes. 40 minutes out. But I think for little Ollie, I think that's, you know, that's all right. 40 minutes on a boat.
You slept through it all.
You'll slept through the whole thing. We're also going to put the, yeah, we're all right. We've got 8.4 metres here. We're also putting the new Mantus bridle on, just because we can. And it takes a bit of strain off the gypsy, doesn't it? So the hook goes onto the chain, the bridles go over the sides onto the cleats at the side decks, which we would normally use for our springs, and then we can relax the chain, let a bit more chain out, so that this rope, the rope bridle, takes the strain instead of it all being on the gypsy of the windlass there. So now you see the bridle is taking the weight rather than the gypsy on the anchor windlass. That's really good. So the weight of the boat is now on this bridle. That's much nicer because it's a lot kinder. Obviously the gypsies are, you know, the anchor roller is, the anchor windlass is a strong thing, and it's bolted through the deck and it's got big spreader plates on the underneath, so it's beefy and it will pull 300 kilos, I think. But it's bad practice to leave a boat, particularly in a running tide like this, with all the weight of it over the gypsy. So the bridle's a fantastic thing. And then this, you know, has got no strain on it now. So all the strain is on the bridle. So this is how fast the tide is running out. We are anchored. And that is our little dinghy that we've just towed in. And that's crazy. That is absolutely ripping past. And we're anchored in 8.4 metres.
So what's going on at Anchor? Andy is editing a short.
It's not a short, it's not like one of those shorts. It's just an announcement to say that you're not getting your episode this week, it's going to be next week, which you've already seen.
Which you'll know, yeah.
You've probably seen it.
This is Andy in the past, or the future, I'm not quite sure.
No, this is past Andy. I don't know, talking to future Andy.
Yeah, so that's what Andy's doing. Ollie is chilled on the shelf.
Yep. So chilled, his gummy's just fallen out of his mouth and he hasn't even noticed.
And I'm cooking some lunch. Andrew and Clyde are chilling in the sun. And let's just go through to the aft cabin. Jack is just doing, watching a Zoom lesson. He's watching a Zoom lesson on ecology, so I won't interrupt him.
He got a bit of tummy ache, so he needed to burp. I'll put him back down now, he's burped.
Yeah.
What do you think of being afloat then, Ollie? Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Seems to be taking it in his stride. That's it. Good. Oh, good. We're all right then.
The waterline needs a bit of painting. Other than that, she looks really good.
Get up a little bit further.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's just a spectacular sight, isn't it?
Graceful waterline.
Shh, they can't see that on YouTube.
Let's go for a stroll.
Clyde, Clyde. There's a tower up this hill, you can see it. It's over there. We're not entirely sure what it is. Now I want to go for a look. Look at this sandbar. It's like a desert. Really, really small desert. There it is. The weird, mysterious pole. Not sure what that is. It's got a light on top of it, I think. It's also got a solar panel. I'm not sure what it is. Can you tell us in the comments, please? Found an abandoned cottage. It's right over there. Let's go to the cottage. Ooh. It's a building. A very old building. With a tree in the middle of it. That's it. I like the tree though. It's cool. Anyway, back to the parents I go.
Life's a beach.
And this is the beach I'm talking about.
Amazing.
Not a soul in sight.
There is one person.
There's one person down there fishing. Melissa's just doing the 4-week-old picture of the baby on the beach, and he's yeah. So Melissa does one every week on the week anniversary of his birth, and he's just so chilled, lying there on the sand, nice and toasty. Don't worry, we're protecting him from the sun and what have you. He's just having a little lie down on the beach there. Look at that smile. Like born for this, literally. There's Ollie. He's fine, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's turning round. The dog's in the water, turning around like it wants to make a bed for itself. You know the way dogs do. A really important piece of kit on any boat is a good pair of binoculars, and these are the little ones we have now, and they're fine but really tiny. So now we've got these, the NV200 LRF. The NV200 LRF has a laser rangefinder, powerful built-in infrared illuminator, 20 times digital zoom. They record in 4K at 120 frames a second and have a Sony sensor, which is always a good thing. So this little trip was the perfect chance for me to have a play with my new toy and see how handy it's going to be for us when we're sailing. So these here are the binoculars I'm talking about, and I'm testing them really to see if they're any good for yachties. They're not really designed for yachties, but I am talking to the company about developing some firmware updates. It would be nice to have a compass in the top, and it would be nice to be able to lock on a heading so that you can actually snapshot a particular bearing. So you could point it at something on land, snapshot it, point it at something else on land, snapshot that, and something else and snapshot that, and you've got the 3 bearings that you can then plot on your chart to get yourself, you know, to get yourself your fix, which would be really, really nice. They record in 4K at 120 frames a second, but you've got everything, you know, 1080p, 720p, 2.7K, 4K, and all your different frame rates. And you can actually change the lenses, so they're almost like an SLR in that respect. And they've got a rangefinder on. And what I'm doing here is I'm checking to see if our boat looks okay from land. Admittedly, it's not that far away. I'll check a few other things as well. Okay, so there's the boat. Wow, look at that. Let's zoom in, and then of course you have to focus like you normally would. I haven't got my reading glasses on though, so I'm going to try and focus that. Yeah, that's amazing. I can see that the waterline is fine. In-body stabilisation would be great as well, but I mean they're an amazing thing, aren't they? So there's the boat, and if I do, oh no, not that, this one, there's my rangefinder, and it's telling me that we've got 113, 114 metres from here to the boat. Zoom back out. Oh, bird. Right, let's have a look at the port marker. There we go, and that enables me to zoom in and see that port marker. You can even read the number on it, the sun's shining on it, and the distance to it. That's amazing.
mean, that lateral mark, the port hand lateral mark, it's reading the distance to that, okay?
Yeah. What's it giving us the distance to that port hand lateral mark?
250 metres.
Yeah, it's probably about right. It's not going to be far off. And of course, you can put that into imperial, so you can display it in feet. And at the minute, this recording's in 4K 30 frames a second, but it'll go up to 4K 120.
That's good, yeah.
What do you reckon, Andy? Genuinely useful piece of kit for sailors?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, very handy, very handy.
Yeah, definitely.
It also takes stills. We just discovered 48 megapixel it'll go up to on the stills. I'm going to take a few photographs now. Really, you need this on a tripod, I think, for serious zooming in, or you'd need to brace your elbows on something.
But yeah, just simple things like when you're at anchor and you want to know how far away you are from the next boat.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
tend to fire the radar on, and you can get the distance off the radar, but
right.
you got your rangefinder on there, you know exactly what you are.
That's really
you know
helpful.
what scope you've let out, so you know if there's going to be any clashes or anything.
Really, really handy feature, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lovely. So at the minute I'm focused on Jack and Melissa, and the boat is out of focus. Let's just turn that, and now the boat is in focus ish. It's not bad. You wouldn't think that that was recorded through some binoculars. That is astounding. Incidentally, the piece of music you're listening to now is one of my original compositions. It's me on all the instruments, but with the legendary country fiddle player Hank Singer on fiddle, of course, and with Jason Bold on drums, who plays for Bullet, My Valentine, and all sorts of other people. Just a quick note to say, if you want to sign up for online guitar and music lessons with me, you can do so by dropping me a message to the email address on the screen now. I've popped out now at night. It's actually probably darker than it looks. The camera's doing really well. This Sony does really well at night. But I've popped out to try and get some night vision footage from these goggles as well. Binoculars, sorry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out some marker buoys and some stuff on the land and see how well it does looking over at the kind of fairway markers. And I'm also going to go round and have a look at the boats in the river and see how well it does looking at the boats to see if they're all okay, particularly my daughter's boat. I've also remembered to bring some reading glasses. I'm going to change this to 4K 30, and we're in day mode. Now, to go into night mode, you have to take this cap off the front and do a long press of the infrared button. There we are. Look at that. Now I can put the laser pointer on that marker and I can press the rangefinder, and that's now telling me that that marker, it will get a range on it in a second, is 664.9 meters away. And this is the cardinal marker, and if I wanted to see which one it was, look at that. I can see very easily which cardinal marker it is. And those of you who are interested can tell me in the comments what cardinal marker it is. I do know which one it is. I just want to generate some comments. But here we go with the night test. Emily's boat is just over there, so I'm going to start recording again, and I'm going to see if I can see if her boat is sinking. I don't think it is, although I do know it's got a bit of water in it. Let's just check that out. There we go. Look at that. Let me just get my glasses on so I can see a bit better. That's lovely. Nah, it's not sinking. It's beautiful. Distance, she is 83.6 meters away. So this is day mode, okay? This is what you see in day mode. Next to nothing, next to nothing. Let me put it back into night mode. You do that, and you take the lens cap off, that cap, and you can see this. Look at the difference. Sapphire, couldn't see anything in day mode. Astounding. So you can genuinely check your boat out in very low light. Equity 3, oh, she's so neglected. So what do you think, guys? I think they're amazing. There are a couple of features I'd like to see added, like the compass with a bearing. That would be really, really handy, and I'm going to talk to the company about that. But even as they are, flipping brilliant. Love them to bits. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment. I think they're really good. Let's turn that off. Right, I think I'm going to go to that pub where there's a load of music and have a glass of wine. I can't drink beer anymore. Not that I've been a big beer drinker all my life, but I do like a glass of wine, so let's go and indulge just the one.